Jam. Jam. Today is Sunday, the 8th of June, 2025. 8th of June? 8th of June. Daily crypto analysis. Here we go. Alright, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, once again, perfectly respecting the range. I wouldn't even count this as a false breakout. This is just a respect towards the range, which will now ideally lead us back down to the lower ends of the range. Obviously the weekend, so not much to say, not much that we can analyze factually. We looked at Friday's outflows and inflows of the ETFs yesterday already. Maybe let's see if we can find something on CoinMarketCap. That is in any way, form or shape important. Fear and greed, 55, neutral. I think that's interesting. Because the last couple of times, right, when greed was in a, highly greedy phase, right, here Bitcoin was at 71k, but that was obviously this January, right, with the ETFs, yada, yada, yada. After the elections, greed was at like 85, I think 88 was tops. So to see that we now, I did not want that. Well, anyways. Oh, we said so. To see that we now are only at 55, with price being above 100, may actually lead us to, maybe see a bit of upside even more. So, as I said, I'm looking at two paths. The most realistic one that I think, especially because we respected the range here once again so drastically, is this path here. The path down to maybe even this buy zone that I have figured out, which is just the in between of this fair value gap and this range. So nothing very technical, just a little zone that I've marked out for myself. It is also approximately at the 100,000 level, where I might be looking to buy again because the sweep down 100 is a level. A lot of people will have stop losses at 100,000. So if we break 100,000, the fall or the quick drop to like 99, 98 is not something that is like, oh, everybody's selling. It's just, okay, people are getting stopped out. So that's something that you can look at to maybe buy again. But as I said, I've gone over this path a lot of times now in this daily analysis. This is what I expect. This is what I think that will happen. However, I think now that we've reclaimed 1221 yesterday, I mean, we were already losing 12 here, but besides that, we should give this path maybe a bit more of attention as well. I still think that it's unrealistic that we see this right now. I do think we see some more bullishness in the later stages of 2025. But I think for now, this move above the hundreds has to come to a conclusion. We are clearly not going anywhere. We have done the whole retracement of this big fat candle that was the Elon shit and the Trump shit. But for the rest, RSI currently at 52. Not too bad, so RSI I wouldn't really give a fuck about right now. Also, obviously, the weekend, so take everything with a pinch of salt. Let's take a look at this news. Bitcoin can liquidate 15 billion in shorts with 10% Bitcoin price uptick. Well, yeah, I mean, that I always like to read these things here because they are so... Either they are completely redundant because, yeah, obviously, liquidations, if Bitcoin moves by 10%, are gonna be nuts. Yeah, that's for sure. Or they're like just blatantly false. Like we can go over to SUI later. Like they're always late by like a week for what they're saying. So yeah. Anyways, if we break the range, as I said yesterday, I think an immediate up move is not off the table. It is more unlikely. Why? Well, first of all, we're going into summer. Sorry about that. Summer for financial assets is historically not good. Why? Well, people are on. It's as simple as it is. People are going on holidays. People are not fucking trading. It's as simple as that. There's just a lot less interest. People are outside because weather is great and everything. So retail traders, also tend to go outside and touch some grass. It's just that the volume is not there to justify big spikes. Okay. Now, if you've been on X a bit, Twitter, you've seen that Trump wants to replace Powell rather soon and bring in a new chair that is then meant to, miraculously cut rates and start quantitative easing. So make a monetary politics that is a lot more in favor of bullishness. Well, that brings more bullishness because there will be more money. Interest rates, quantitative easing, quantitative tightening is a video that I've planned as well. So make sure you guys subscribe, because if you wanted to know more about that, in these daily analysis videos, I can't really go into explaining like the whole of it, right? It would make this like a 4-hour video if I explained everything I said. So a bunch of things that I say in my daily analysis I've already explained on my YouTube channel, so head over and check all of this out. Right, after this little plug, let's continue. So, I wouldn't want to see that, because that would just lead to a pump that is just absolutely and utterly not sustainable. You cannot cut rates right now. Like, your economy is fucked. Tariffs, sure, whatever you think about them, I don't really give a fuck, but like, the tariffs led us here. Like, it's not that terrible of a news, the tariffs, that it should justify like such a drop in every asset. Like, we've seen it in everything. We've seen it in the S&P 500 as well. Like, your economy is fucked. Artificially pumping it is just gonna make the downfall harder. And that's what I've been saying that for years, because, well, I'm obviously from Europe, right? I'm from Luxembourg. And in Europe, they are also doing this a lot. They are artificially pumping the economy of the countries of the Union, so that we do not completely get fucked this year, so that we can get fucked next year, or next year we find something else to artificially pump the economy. But what this leads to, every healthy market has a recession. And if you push that recession for more than a decade, almost 2 decades actually, artificially, then you can be damn sure that the recession will be very, very brutal. Which is, I think, what we're experiencing right now. We're coming to the absolute peak. I've said this on Twitter a bunch of times. I've said it here already, I think, once or twice. 2025 for me is a year where I'm looking to get out of every position I have. I do have some bags that I will keep until my retirement, because it's like my long-term goal is like 1 million on Bitcoin, 500 on Solana. I even hold some ETH in there. SUI, it's like, but it's an amount of money that I've already, put aside. This is for my fucking retirement, right? If I'm right with this whole crypto thing, if this is the absolute future, then I'm on the right side. But for everything leveraged or everything short term that I have, 2025 is my year to get out of everything. I think, because I can also analyze the politics a bit, that a break of this high is not unlikely in the later stages of 2025. But 2026-7, look at the housing market, look at consumer credit. People are in debt because of their consumption, and they will default their consumption debt. In the US, it's obviously much worse than in Europe, but you know, if the US falls, Europe is right there as well. So, and without wanting to doomsday it, right? Like, we've survived every major recession so far, but it is something that you want to look out for in the in the financial markets. So, which is also what I'm thinking, it would be very ideal if Bitcoin followed this path that I've marked out first here, and drop down a bit, and then regain momentum, chill out, do not start cutting rates right away. It is bad. Like, for me, Bitcoin is becoming a very good indicator for that. If Bitcoin is above 100k in this market, don't cut rates. It's not really a good idea to cut rates. Anyways, if it happens, then we will break this range, and then this path here becomes a lot more likely. Okay? So just that we're on the clear on this, this could happen as well. Now let's jump over to ETH, because on ETH we have something interesting. On ETH, the idea that I talked about yesterday in the analysis, and also posted on my Discord, if you want to join that, has a link in the description. It's completely free. It's just like, you know, I'll post the link to this analysis here. A good homie of mine is doing commodities and sometimes Forex analysis, and we're all just having a good time together as traders. That's what the Discord is all about. No signals, no courses, no nothing, no bullshit, no guru type bullshit here. Just building a community, having a great time together. I had this idea, I believe, on the 4-hour chart. It's crazy. I've only started looking at 4-hour chart even because of this analysis, and now I'm already trading it. It's a bit scary. Alright, we had this fair value gap here when we fell down. I was looking for a refill of this, which happened aggressively at like 11 p.m. yesterday, somewhere. And we're already falling down. Now, what I want to see is obviously clearly a break of this. Break below this, hold, then look for this liquidity here, that is marked out here, and then we're probably filling this up. Now, in this position here, so this is an almost 7-hour trade, right? And I'm very confident in this trade, so I'll risk 2R in it. And so if it hits, it's like nearly 14R for my portfolio. So I will be looking at like getting out partially, maybe after this has been swapped, maybe after this has been swapped again, you know, and then just have like my full TP here. If it happens, it happens. Because this is it is very low, right? It would retrace a lot of the, well, actually it wouldn't retrace any of this, but like it would still retrace a big amount of the move. But I'm optimistic for this. Now, why was I also so positive about taking this trade with a 2R? I will analyze this a bit more, like the chart of Ethereum, but to explain the trade, I want to go on Solana quickly, because I still have this trade open. If my stop loss hits on Ethereum, it is very likely that I hit take profit here on this trade, and then like I'm up like 0.2, 0.3R anyways. So this trade, I was considering closing it because I no longer believe that it's correct, because obviously I believe the ETH trade is correct, and if the ETH trade is correct, then this hits stop loss like, you know, long before ETH hits take profit. But this is my hedge for the ETH trade, right? So this is just as a hedge. This is still open. But I mean, now something crazy to say. Ideally, this hits stop loss, right? So that like the ETH trade can go fully into it. All right. What else can we see on ETH on the daily? I mean, it is just doing pretty much what I wanted it to do, right? Filled this stop loss, surely. Filled this fair value gap, and now we're coming down. Head and shoulders. In what world is this a head and shoulders to you? Who wrote this? Who's writing these things? I mean, I guess. Duck. I don't know. This is equally high shoulder. Like, his shoulder is up his head. Like, it's a very weird shoulder. Anyways, yeah. I mean, once again, like, this just doesn't look bullish to me. This trend. This chart, we are even here already. We didn't even fucking reclaim like the highs here. We didn't even come close to breaking the 2700s, like not even wicking it out. So if this becomes a red candle close, maybe if we even have an engulfing of this candle, like this is just so fucking bearish for me, because then it's a lower high, it's a bearish engulfing of this, then retaking this level here of liquidity, and then also on the daily, you can mark this up as well, this liquidity is just a no-brainer. And from there on we will just see, I mean, that this has to get filled at some point is very likely for me, very likely, because look at the strength of this move. It's so impulsive. Like, what was this on the day? 21, almost 22% on the day. Right. So that this has to get filled, I'm pretty positive of that. So yeah, that's it for ETH, I think. ETH, for me, bearish chart. We didn't even reclaim the 12 EMA here on yesterday's thing. We closed below the fair value gap, so we respected it. It's another sign why I'm so utterly positive about this trade. Yeah. This just looks like a very likely path for me. I mean, at the end of the day, I could also see that I'm getting wicked out on my stop loss and that it keeps on going down. But then, you know, that's just a risk that you have to take. I'm also, I think if we break these levels here, like of liquidity, then it's a trade that you want to stop loss to break even. But yeah, we'll talk about that when we come to that point. I always like get into these yap sessions here about the trades, about the charts, which is actually not the point of this. It's supposed to be a shorter analysis. Oof, Solana. Solana is also not a very bullish chart at the moment. What can we analyze on Solana? So we broke out of the zone here, this little candle daily range of the 7th of May, which preceded a big breakout, well, a big impulse candle, which actually became 3. And we're back inside of it. Testing the lows of this, not unlikely anymore. Here again, if we have a if we have a bearish engulfing, something like this, maybe test mid, clearly break down below it, retest it from above, go down to maybe 120s, chop around summer, or at least for a couple of months, weeks, have a little bit of accumulation, become stronger and stronger. Boom. That's something I can imagine as well, because this move up to the other side of the fair value gap, I think has been a bit invalidated now already. Never say never, but I'm looking more at something like this. It doesn't even have to go that deep, to be honest. It might even just like be around these levels, but somewhere around here, accumulation before we can pump up again. Because yeah, it's pretty much what happened here, right? Accumulate. Bears pushing price down, more, bulls, heavy bulls accumulating, boom, and boom. Going down to 95 again, I don't know, I think that's unlikely. Like, at some point, maybe, but like, for continuation of bull, would be heavy to find some bullishness down there. But a very good price if you just want to accumulate Solana and like, to have them in the liquidity pools, to stake them. Yeah, all of these things. So, yeah, Also here, I mean, the 1221 EMAs are fully bearish. The 50, 100, 200 EMA setup is fully bearish, even on the daily. Just not a particularly good sign for Solana right here. SUI, obviously still in this trade, where I did manage to close 10% yesterday of the trade, just to secure some profits. The way the market is looking, I'm also probably looking at stop loss break even. You know, just to have a bit more of a security here. If we fail to reclaim this 50 EMA, then I think looking for support in this fair value gap down here is more likely. Maybe even going to the 0.8 retracement of this move. Overall, I think this is still the most bullish chart that we have right here on the analysis that we do. So overall, I'm still very happy to be in this trade. But if all the other things are correct with my bearishness, then obviously SUI won't be spared from some bearishness, and is also likely to go down a bit more. I'm currently wondering, what are these levels? I mean, this is clearly this, but what is this? We might never figure out. Oh yeah, SUI. SUI rally at risk 2 days ago, right? Analysts warn of 30% dip if this level doesn't hold. Like, what do you mean? 2 days ago, so this was on this candle. And I remember reading this like 15 minutes ago, right? When we were like here. So like, at risk. First of all, this is not a rally. This is a rally down, right? Are you talking about shorts? Like, what are you talking about? I always used to love to read this, but it's just becoming shit. Anyways, oh yeah, Fartcoin. I mean, I like to look at Fartcoin. It is still holding this downtrend. It didn't break it on any. It might have broken it on the 1 hour. Yeah, like for one candle, and right back down we went. Yeah. Yeah. We're respecting it very, very well. So I think maybe looking down here for entries again, like at the 0.9 level, and then looking if there's something to gain. Yeah. That's that. Obviously, not a lot to talk about. It's Sunday. Markets will also I mean, we had a big sell-off here like 15 minutes ago. Oh, like, wait, that's an hour. We're on the hourly chart. My bad. Like an hour ago. So yeah, we're gonna lose the bullish bands here as well on the hour. Sunday. Expect nothing much. Maybe outlook for next week. What I expect. Forex Factory. News. Right. Calendar. That's a bug. I had a stroke there. Monday is also, by the way, a bank holiday in Europe. I believe in the US as well. No? Yes, doesn't seem to be. CPI, PPI this week. And consumer sentiment, inflation expectations. Wonderful. That will be cool to look out for. Alright. GM.